Alright YouTube, what is going on, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we have some super exciting news because we just got possibly one of the biggest announcements out of Lucasfilm Games. And if you guys saw my short little video yesterday, you will know that Lucasfilm Games has now been announced to be taking control of some of the Star Wars properties in gaming, and they're going to be creating their own games as well as EA still pushing out their games as well, and they're going to be kind of having a partnership. And what Lucasfilm Games announced today is that it's entering a partnership with Ubisoft to create an open world Star Wars game. Now, this comes from a Wired article, so take it with a grain of salt. There's nothing confirmed 100% just yet, but from what I've read and what I've seen so far, and there are quotes from Kathleen Kennedy and a few other people in the industry, which makes it seem relevant and legit. So I'm really excited by this, but again, just in case it doesn't turn out being what it sounds like it is, take it with a grain of salt. But what they've said is that the title will be developed by Ubisoft's Massive Entertainment, marking the first time that a company outside of EA has produced a Star Wars game since Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012, ending nearly 8 years of exclusivity. Also in the works is a new Indiana Jones game to be developed by Bethesda Game Studios, a newcomer to Lucasfilm and Disney's properties. It goes on to say that development on this new title is still very early. Massive is still recruiting for the project, even though details are sparse. Julian Garridy, the director of The Division 2 and the crew, will serve as the game's creative director, and the title will use Massive's Snowdrop engine. Beyond that, Lucasfilm Games hasn't revealed anything about the characters or settings within the Star Wars universe that the game will feature. Now guys, this has me super excited. An open world Star Wars game being put together by Ubisoft, and it's obviously that there's some good company in making this game. I'm pretty excited. A lot of people want an open world game purely for the fact that it's hundreds of hours that you can sink into something, and for me as a content creator, I feel the exact same way. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of content for you guys to enjoy these new games that are coming. It continues to say that this announcement follows yesterday's news that Lucasfilm is partnering with Bethesda on the Indiana Jones title, the first non-Star Wars AAA game out of them in years, and it marks a seismic shift for Lucasfilm's approach to gaming, widening the tent for developers that want to create games using Lucasfilm franchises, and particularly the Star Wars universe. While EA had previously suggested that the company would have exclusivity on Star Wars games for 10 years, it seems like it was either misstated or the clock has run out early, both of which Lucasfilm would not confirm for the Wired article either way. But regardless guys, don't stress, EA will be continuing to make games as well in the future, but Lucasfilm Games is also free to seek other partners like they have done now with Ubisoft, and potentially with other studios as well for other Star Wars projects. So what it sounds like is that EA is still going to have the license, but it's not going to be an exclusive license, and there will be other studios that are allowed to work on these games as well. Now there is a quote here from Sean Shopto, who is the Senior Vice President of Global Games and Interactive Experiences at Disney, and he told Wired that EA has been and will continue to be a very strategic and important partner for us now and going forward, but we did feel like there's room for others. So that's a direct quote from the VP of Global Games at Disney, and he has said that there are going to be more than just EA working on these games, which is exciting for me because the more games the better, and it's the same for you guys that are playing them at home. The article continues and says, however, in the years since the EA exclusivity deal has been criticized as a bottleneck to the goal that they were aiming for, aside from a few small mobile games and VR games, the number of major Star Wars titles from EA since 2013 can be counted on one hand. So by allowing more developers to bring in their ideas for games, Lucasfilm hopes to diversify the titles it offers and obviously pump out a bunch more games, which was their original plan. Now, there is a quote here also from the co-founder and CEO of Ubisoft saying that the Star Wars galaxy is an amazing source of motivation for our teams to innovate and push the boundaries of our medium. Building new worlds, characters, and stories that will become lasting parts of the Star Wars lore is an incredible opportunity for us, and we're excited to have our Ubisoft Massive studio working closely with Lucasfilm Games to create an original Star Wars adventure that is different from anything that has been done before. Further down in the article, it goes on to say that the new non-exclusive arrangement for Star Wars games, as well as the rest of Lucasfilm's library, leaves open the door for developers to pitch their own ideas for stories to Lucasfilm Games. They've got no shortage of folks knocking on our door wanting to play with our toys, Douglas Riley, who is the VP of Lucasfilm Games, told them, so I'm sure there are a lot of studios that want to tackle on a Star Wars project. Keeping both gamers and developers inside that playhouse seems to be the ultimate goal of the newly rebranded Lucasfilm Games. Increasingly, video games compete for leisure and entertainment time with film and TV. Disney has a long history of dominating film and TV, competing for consumer eyeballs, but it lacks the same level of experience with video games, so leveraging the talent of outside studios could mean consumers spend far more hours of the day inside the company's sprawling franchises than they would if Disney relied on film and TV alone. And last but not least, like I mentioned before, there is a quote here from Kathleen Kennedy in the article that says, "As we look to the next 50 years of Lucasfilm, we look forward to continuing the wonderful legacy in games, which has introduced so many memorable characters and stories. These new collaborations will allow the Lucasfilm Games team to pursue fresh and exciting directions in the storytelling of Star Wars and Indiana Jones in imaginative and different ways than those explored by our films." So guys, really, this sounds extremely exciting. I'm pumped. I know you guys are pumped too. This is one of those things where this could mean a ton of Star Wars games from a ton of different studios, so many different experiences, so many stories, characters, and things that are going to expand. And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like they should have done this a long time ago in doing this. And that way, if you give multiple studios options, we saw in the last couple of years with between Battlefront, Jedi Fallen Order, and Squadrons, spreading these among multiple game developers, you can get out some really good content. And if they do this with even more studios, there's going to be even more Star Wars games for us in the future, which is so exciting. I know I've said exciting a million times, but it's just how I feel right now. So let me know what you guys think about all this news down in the comments. I would really love an open world, either Mandalorian or like some kind of underworld game would be really, really cool. And I think the open world aspect of it is going to be insane. It's going to give us so many hours of entertainment and so many hours of content, which is going to be really, really good for all of us. But with that said, guys, I'm going to get out of here now. Make sure you guys comment down below what your thoughts are. I'm really interested to see, and if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like as well. But that's it for me right now. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you always.
The Sith